Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. So today's video is going to be a discussion video, and it is relatively related to League of Legends, but it's more gaming in general. And basically, right now, QT, as you guys know, the website I have a partnership with and work with, they're holding a discussion called Gaming and You. They want to know what gaming means to you, the positives and the negatives. What are things that you think works really well and like the amazing things? What are the negatives? And I thought what I'd do, instead of like joining the QT and typing, I thought I'd make a video on it to share this and just to let you guys know if you want to join in. Well, one, the conversation is great, and QT obviously always usually gets these like discussions in front of really big people's eyes, like developers and people like that. But more importantly for you as an individual, what can you get? They're actually giving out 20 Amazon gift cards, literally 20 of them. So that's a lot of them. So if you join the conversation, put your thoughts. It can be as big or little as you want. And potentially what they'll also do is if somebody has like a very well thought out something, maybe they'll just award somebody like a bonus thing. So yeah, feel free, click in the link down below and share what gaming means to you. But I thought I'd do it what it means to me. So what are the positives, what are the negatives, and that type of thing. So I will say I would identify myself as a gamer. It is one of my identifying traits. People joke that, if someone's a vegan, that's who they are. They're a vegan. Well, for me, I'm a gamer. That is my identifying, like, biggest trait, most likely. And, I am other things than that, but that is definitely a big part of my life. And the thing is, I always have been. But maybe it wasn't as big of a thing in my life. Maybe, a sportsman used to be the biggest, and obviously that's faded away, and gaming has kind of reigned supreme. But I'm okay with that, because gaming has given me so much over the years. So the positives, let's just go into the positives of what I've experienced with gaming. One of the biggest is friendship. I think people, and again, even within my own life and my own family, opinions have changed, and people have learned that, a lot of the time when I was growing up, and instead of like going out back in the day when I was playing World of Warcraft, it was, oh, go out and play with your real friends. That was a very common thing. Said. But they, I think people have now understood more that no, they are my real friends. It is a bonding experience. It sounds funny, but I have some very good friends in real life, but they have not had the same struggle of wiping 100 times to kill the Lich King in ICC. I know that sounds really weird, but it's a different type of friendship. It's a different type of experience. And the people that I talk to daily, every single day, are people that I've known through World of Warcraft for about 8 to 10 years, some of them. And I wouldn't trade that. Like, they're amazing. And I play games with them still to this day. And obviously that's a proper friendship there. So that is one of the biggest positives that gaming has given me, is a good friend circle that are from all different walks of life. That these are people that I would never have met in my regular life if it wasn't for gaming. But I'm really happy I did. So that is something that I will always deem very, very positive. The next positive is obviously a little bit more niche for me as an individual, a job. So if I wasn't a gamer, well, I wouldn't be here talking to you in front of a camera. I have taken obviously gaming quite seriously over the last probably 8 or so years of my life, roughly. And without doing that, I wouldn't be here. I'd probably be working a boring office job in the stock market or something. Where I'm here. I'm here right now doing my thing, and I'm loving it. And obviously there are positives and negatives within my own job, which a lot of people sometimes don't get. But it's more of a positive than a negative, put it that way. And obviously, yes, one of the big negatives of that is the isolation, which we will come on to later, which is part of a negative. But yeah, so the first two is friendship. Second thing is a job for me personally. And then I think a broader thing that isn't just for me is a lot of people underestimate the life lessons gaming gives. And I think this is a very big positive, is that because the world as a whole is changing, back in the day, sport, I guess, reigned supreme. And a lot of kids learnt life lessons through sport, that you can't win them all. You're going to lose occasionally. You got to be sportsmanlike. You got to behave well. Otherwise, there are consequences. And I learned that from sport. That's where I personally learned that, which is maybe why I'm calm and never really a rager in League. But gaming is also teaching that to people. Maybe a little bit slower than sport, but it is happening. people are learning that you win and you lose, and sometimes you can't do anything about the losses, which is a very valuable life lesson. Try everything you can, but occasionally it just won't go your way. But try everything, do well, and you will get rewarded if you do that too. These are all great life lessons. And also, if you behave negatively, you will have negative consequences, like getting banned and stuff like that, which, you know, yesterday I had a guy raging at me that he got permabanned and he disagrees with it, although just as a little tidbit, you don't own your League of Legends account. Legally, you do not own your League of Legends account. You just have access to an account that is owned by Riot. So you have no legal power over your account whatsoever. It's literally in the terms of service of the game. But yeah, I think that's a very big third point that a lot of people forget. Is even though it may be a little bit slower than mainstream sport of teaching you valuable life lessons, video games still does it. They still do it. You know, hell, if you just play the modern God of War, you'll get life lessons from that if you pay attention to the story. So, no, I think that's a very valuable one. Let's go into some negatives, though, but without getting too down. To me, as a personal individual, what is the biggest negative of being, let's say, a gamer? It's the isolation. And this, again, is just definitely going to be more personal to me as an individual, as a YouTuber, streamer that has to stay indoors and aren't very, you know... It is flexible work hours, but it's unsociable work hours. I can't really work when other people are working, because why would they watch? They're all working. So I've generally got to work or put out content when everybody else is off work. So I'm busy when everybody is free, and I'm free when everybody else is busy. So sometimes that can happen, and that is obviously because I'm a gaming YouTuber, gaming job. But obviously that isn't gaming's fault. That is obviously what I've chosen to do. But apart from the negatives, so like I said earlier, is that life lessons I think are really good. Well, again, it is slow. Some people aren't gonna see a punishment as like getting banned on a LoL account. Some people won't care. They'll just make another one or they'll buy one. They don't see it as a punishment. And obviously that's not great. The next one is the friendship. All of them obviously can be counted, and like they can in real life, is that my friend group has been, I'm very lucky. I like all the people in my friend group. I get on with all of them amazingly well. And none of them are toxic individuals or bad influences or anything like that. Well, that can't be said for every group. Is that a lot of the time, if you're in League and you see a toxic duo queue, a lot of the time one of them kind of corrupted the other one. One was toxic and the other one wasn't. But the more that person plays with them, the more toxic the other guy becomes. So there can definitely be a negative like corruption of attitude. That is definitely a thing, and it's a definitely thing I've actually seen myself. So that is definitely a negative. Is, you know, again, like in real life, there are negative influences in gaming as well. And then what you could finally say is a negative is health, obviously. So gaming, although I'd say is getting healthier, you know, if you look at the Pro League, just focus on the Pro League of Legends scene. Back in Season 1, Season 2, a lot of the players were overweight. Yeah, a lot of them, like even if you look at like Dyrus and stuff, they were bigger back then. Reginald was bigger, where recently it's taken a very big health kick, which I think is for a couple of reasons. Is two, it has been scientifically proven the better fitness you have physically, you'll actually have better mental strength. So that obviously is definitely a correlation that they want to have their pro players have. So that is definitely a requirement now, that most pros are in the gym with a trainer, with a diet. A lot of them have professional chefs for pure health. The second thing, I think they're taking their role model role seriously. These pros are role models to a lot of people. When I get private messages, and I do regularly, hey, I want to be a pro, how do I get there? I want to be like Doublelift. I want to be like Bjergsen. A lot of people are putting these pros on like the same level as like Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan and stuff now, which is completely fine. And when these pros look at themselves as a role model, well, they want to be the best version of them. And obviously that is generally in shape. So I think as a negative is, you know, gaming does encourage being relatively unhealthy. You know, you're indoors instead of outdoors. You're sitting down for hours at a time. You know, a lot of people eat when they game, and obviously the easiest food to eat when gaming is snack food, which is generally unhealthy. But I think that is changing. I think in a few years' time, that point may turn into a neutral point, not a negative, because it definitely is, I think, shifting. You know, VR, even though VR a lot of people think is going to fail, who knows? VR may get bigger, and there are, you know, people could buy, and they do already exist, these big treadmills that you're wearing a VR headset and you are physically walking, you are physically moving, which does give you exercise. That may be the future. Who knows? But yeah, right now I do think that is a negative, but I do think it's, you know, going to change. And then actually a point that I completely forgot about a positive, and I'll go back to kind of get us back on the upswing, is it connects the world. So gaming as a whole is a very global thing. You know, if you just look again, I've got to focus on League of Legends. I've spoken to from people all different walks of life, all different servers, and I never would have spoken to those people if I didn't play League, if I wasn't connected to them in that way. And I think that's awesome. Like, connecting to the world, to me, is only a positive thing, not a negative thing. To learn different perspectives, to understand where they're coming from, to see what their culture is different to mine, it's learning, and I think that's a very healthy thing. And even if that's through the, you know, the gaming world, I think that's only going to be positive. And, you know, friendly rivalries, you know, EU and NA have always had a friendly rivalry in League. That's always healthy to me. I don't see anything wrong with that. Because you just learn each other's cultures, and you actually get like the cultures kind of going into each other. Like, look how many European players and now Asian players are joining North America and stuff. I think that's cool. So that I think is a pretty good positive too. And again, as a gamer, anywhere you go in the world, pretty much, you could find somewhere that you probably feel that you belong. You know, if you go to Korea, I'm sure you could find a PC gaming cafe or a gaming store and talk to League about people, or like at least have some form of communication. You know, if you go to a PC internet cafe in a language that they don't speak English and you sit down and start playing League, they'll go, "Hey, that guy's playing League." Like, there's a connection there that I don't think is as strong in other things. So how else can you do that? Like, what other things can you do that has that instant connection if you go somewhere else in the world? I think it's a very powerful thing. You know, as another thing in gaming is that with hobbies, if you move, and I'm sure a few of you have gone through this, if you move house and you are moving to a completely different city that you've got no friends in, you don't know anybody, if you're a gamer, one of the best things you can do is look at the local gaming groups, look at the local gaming stores and go there. It's like a hub that a lot of people kind of go to. And I think that's also a very nice, positive thing. It connects people, and that's like what I said about the friendship thing. I think it's only healthy. So for me, that's gaming to me. I think it's great. And obviously on the right-hand side, there is all votes, and you can vote on those too. You know, is it an overall, you know, is it positive, negative? And, you know, one topic that I haven't even got into is, you know, what do you guys think about, obviously, let's say, groups of people that are getting involved with trying to, you know, censor gaming. You know, they think it's too violent or it's corrupting the youth and stuff like that. The way that I have always seen with it, and again, it is scientifically backed up, and, you know, stuff, that it's not gaming that's corrupting people. It's just bad people who play games. Bad people exist everywhere. Bad people who are playing games and they do something bad, and because they played games, people go, it was because of the game. I never have made that correlation of it's because of the game. I just see it as he played games. Like, not every single person that plays games is obviously going to do something bad. And if you look at the grand scheme of people who do bad stuff, I presume most of them aren't probably gamers. They maybe watch movies, and then are you going to put movies on the chopping block? No. So to me, I think it's something that they should kind of stay out of, or at least learn more about. You know, I will say, without getting too political, one certain politician did say there should be an aging category system on gaming, when there already is. So obviously they just don't know how it works in the gaming world if they are saying that stuff when it does exist. But that's my opinion on gaming. Overall, I think gaming's positive. I think it's a great thing. You know, I've got memories from my childhood. You know, I started gaming probably when I was like, I don't know, 3 with the original Game Boy, and then obviously Game Boy Color. And I remember snippets of those games. You know, the original Pokemon. God, I remember this weird Beauty and the Beast board game on the Game Boy. I don't even know why I remember that, but I do. And those are always going to be positive memories. And I will say, over the years, gaming for me also has probably, and even it's a weird thing, matured me more. When I was 14/15 years old, I was raid leading in World of Warcraft when we had like 40-year-old men in the group. I didn't care how old they were. I knew what I was doing. I was the one that was making like the decisions and calling stuff out, and people just listened. It definitely matured me, made me a little bit more of an adult a lot quicker, which again does go to gaming. But that's going to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know, obviously, what your thoughts are. Please go to the QT, link down below. Share your thoughts there. If you don't want to go to the QT, I guess you can use the YouTube comments. But obviously, all the potential Amazon gift cards and that type of thing is on the QT. So yeah, like the video, share your thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.